Oh, as I talk right now, somebody they bids me loan. No. Give am me.
Oh, I give am.
Support the dream. Like.
Oh, give am.
Oh,
if you don't pay to your chele.
Down there. KSF Press says, I won't think about it of advising someone to take a loan in any business. Never. Final one here says, Mango, not all businesses require huge capital to start. I started my company with less than 2,000 Ghana cedis. If you are not sure or secure the good cash, a good cash flow, don't go in for a loan. Make I tell you this story. I take 40k loan 2022 for 5 years. I paid 2 years, but I'm left with 7 years to finish. Inna the laughing body. Nana Sre Nani Pasi Yadien. Anyway, this has been our show, The Traffic Avenue 97.3 Citi FM. My name is Daniel Mengo. You can call me DJ Mengo or simply Mengo. You can catch me off air. My handle everywhere is at I am DJ Mengo, and I did this way.
My name is
Oh yeah. 97.3. Come on. Let's go.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue.
Flex. Buckle up and join the best. Let Citi relieve your stress. So yes, let the music soothe your soul and keep it going just to refresh. Buckle and enjoy the ride from 2 to the half of the 5. Mondays to Fridays happening live. Where we gon' have a ball, you can text your guys. Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. Are you ready for the Traffic Avenue? Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. An applause for the Traffic Avenue.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, Traffic Avenue, oh yeah.
Welcome. This is Citi 97.3.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Citi News.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amadou, and tonight I'm here with
Eno Safo.
And coming up over the next 90 minutes, we take you to Parliament, where there is rancor over the free SHS policy bill, which is yet to hit the chamber of the House. Alexander Penyomakin, the leader of the majority side, says the NDC side is opposing the bill even before it is laid. Also coming up, some patients visiting the oncology department of the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital have been turned away after doctors there continue with their strike. And later on Eyewitness News, that is Kenya. In East Africa, sections of the House of Parliament of Kenya is on fire as protesters are continuing with their protests against the taxes that have been imposed by the government. Meanwhile, we are told that bodies are being seen on the streets of Kenya. We'll be going live to Nairobi for an update on that particular story. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
Fitch reviews Ghana's growth projection for 2024 to 4.3%, up from the previous 3.8%.
That's in 50 minutes from the Citi Business Desk. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a number of affiliate stations. In the Ahafo region, we are on Hammers Radio 106.5 in Goso. We are in Bono region on Greener 95.9 FM in Suyani. We are in the Western region on Premier 100.5 FM in Takrady, Sky Power 93.5 FM in Takrady, and Beach 105.5 FM also in Takrady. In the Ashanti region, we are on Alpha Radio 104.9 in Kumasi and Orange 107.9 FM also in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we are on Global 105.1 FM in Ho, and in Adakluwaya, we are on Adanu 107.7 FM. In the northern region, we are on Diamond 93.7 FM in Tamale. In Upper West, we are on Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura. In Upper East, we are on Source 100.1 FM in Boko. And in Northeast region, we are on SCAP 101.3 FM on the Nakpanduri escarpment. We are on our website, citynewsroom.com. We are also on our Facebook channel and also on YouTube. In fact, there's a Citi FM YouTube channel. You should subscribe to that so that you get notifications anytime we are live with Eyewitness News. You get to listen to that show. We are also on DSTV and we are interactive. Join us on WhatsApp 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. We start off from Parliament now. Eno.
The majority leader in Parliament, Alexander Penyamakin, has accused the minority caucus of opposing the proposed bill on the free senior high school policy. This bill aims to regulate the free senior high school intervention by making it mandatory for future governments to sustain the policy. The leader of the majority group had earlier disclosed that the bill has received executive approval for it to be laid before the House by the Education Minister. Speaking to journalists in Parliament, Penyamakin emphasized that the minority must provide reasons for their opposition to the bill.
Clearly, the NDC minority does not want to commit itself to free SHS. And the fact that we want to enact a law to make it mandatory, we have stated time without number that those provisions in the Constitution that talk about free SHS are very aspirational. They are aspirational provisions. So the way to go is to enact a law to regulate the free SHS policy which is currently in operation. The NDC is opposed to this and they have spoken through their ranking member. We want them to tell Ghanaians whether free SHS is not their priority as a responsible opposition. And the Minister of Education is going to ferry the bill through to Parliament. We are ready. And that is why, as part of the engagement process, we engage them, but they are adamant.
Majority Leader in Parliament, Alexander Penyamakin.
This Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Let's go to the phone lines and speak to the Member of Parliament for Bulsa South, Clementa Park. He is Deputy Ranking Member of the Education Committee of Parliament. Doc, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Good evening, Sander. Good evening to our listeners, especially the people of Bulsa South and Buluk, who listen to you avidly.
Thank them for me when you go back to the village next time. Thank them on behalf of Citi FM as well. They should continue listening to us. You are a chief critic, I think one of the key, that would be a fair representation, of the Free Senior High School. You and your side in Parliament. But are you also opposed to the introduction of a bill to the House? The majority leader says that appears to be the case. You want to kill it even before it grows.
Thank you, Sander. I am not a chief critic of the free senior school policy. I am a critic of the poor implementation of the policy, as are many other Ghanaians from all walks of life. We in the NDC have never been opposed to the free senior school policy. In fact, you know that we are on record to have even argued that we started implementing the free senior school policy before we left government. And indeed, there is documented evidence indicating that the current president, Akufo-Addo, praised John Dramani Mahama when he was engaged by then journalists of Honorable Kennedy Japan's radio station. I believe the said journalist is now the public relations officer for Kokobot, one Fifi Boafo. When Fifi Boafo told the president that John Dramani Mahama had started implementing the free senior school policy, he said better late than never, and that it was a good thing to do. Fast forward to the current situation, where the current government decided to implement its variant of a free senior school policy. We have not been opposed to it, and we are on record. So I fail to understand why the NPP and now the majority leader is strenuously trying to revive the still dead and rejected propaganda message used against the NDC to the effect that we are opposed to the policy and that should Ghanaians give us the opportunity, we will cancel the policy. We have not said that anywhere, any day, any time. The majority leader was the person who informed Ghanaians through the parliamentary press corps on the 11th of June 2024 that government was going to bring to parliament a policy on the free senior school policy with the intention of ensuring that future governments abide by the policy and implement it accordingly. We said, welcome, bring it. We have no challenge supporting a policy on the free senior high school any day, any time. We said this in spite of the fact that we are yet to even see the bill and to examine its content. So for the majority leader to try and suggest that because our ranking member made a statement to the effect that it wasn't necessary to have a bill that then translates to our side rejecting the bill is unfounded, totally unfounded. In fact, it's a blatant lie. I listened to the voice you played, and he actually misquotes deliberately what the ranking member said. Nowhere in the commentary of the ranking member did he ever use the word oppose or reject. And even after the ranking member had spoken, I issued a statement. And our leader in parliament, the Honorable Dr. Atuba Forson, also issued a statement indicating our readiness to work with them to ensure that the bill that is going to come to us becomes law. So I simply do not understand why Afenya Martin, in the face of the serious, immediate challenges that are confronting the educational sector, would choose to rehash and to resituate an argument that has no basis. Afenya Martin should be worried and concerned about the fact that WAEC is crying about a lack of adequate funding to prepare and execute the upcoming BEC exam. Government has only remitted WAEC 47 million out of 80 million. To the contrary, the majority chief whip, who sits by the same majority leader, lied through his teeth on the floor of Parliament to Ghanaians.
You mean
the government had remitted 80 million to Waik, which is not the case.
You mean he misled you?
He lied. He misled the House. He misled Ghanaians. We know the truth. I can tell you the authority that the Akufo-Addo-Bawumia-led NPP government has only provided 47 million out of 80 million on Waik. And as we speak, Waik is taking material and other services from its partners on credit. That is what should worry the majority leader and the majority side. Not a bill that has not yet come, for which we have already indicated our commitment to support. What should worry Afenyo-Markin and the MPP is that the colleges of education are practically closed down as a result of 2 weeks of industrial action by the lecturers of the colleges. That is what should worry him. He should be impressing upon government to meet its obligations as far as CETA and its members are concerned. That is what should worry Afenyo-Markin. Afenyo-Markin and the MPP should be worried about the fact that school feeding caterers in the Ashanti region have signaled that they are going to undertake a naked demonstration because they are owed 8 months for work done. These are the matters that I would suggest should occupy the attention of the majority leader and his side. Not a bill that has not yet been brought, for which we have already publicly indicated our support.
But are there at least preliminary discussions around the bill if it has not been laid yet?
But that is the whole point. That is the whole point, Umaru. How can you even commence a conversation and a dialogue about a bill that has not even come to Parliament, that we have not even seen? And as I speak to you, there is no dialogue or conversation going on because it simply doesn't make sense. The conversation and the dialogue will commence when the bill is brought to Parliament and then when it is referred to the Education Committee. I am a member of the Education Committee. We came from a workshop in Kufobia yesterday. We went there to consider the National Service Bill. I have spoken to my ranking member. I'm in touch with my leadership. The bill on the free senior high school has not yet come to Parliament. So we cannot be having a conversation in a vacuum. It's as simple as that. So rather than engaging the media at every opportunity to try and propagate a lie that has been discredited, the majority leader should do the needful by getting the bill to us. And when the bill comes, Ghanaians would know whether we are opposed or we are for the bill.
Thank you so much for speaking to us.
You're welcome, Umaru.
That's Dr. Clement Apak. He is NDC Member of Parliament for Bulsa South. He is also Deputy Ranking on the Education Committee of Parliament. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Let's remain with the education sector, Eno.
Members of the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana remain firm in their decision to continue their strike until the government implements a pending arbitral award orders and negotiated conditions of service. The arbitral award includes the payment of 1 month's salary to each member for additional duties performed in 2022. The strike, which began on Friday, June 14, 2024, persists despite an order from the National Labour Commission for CTAG to call off the strike. The association explains that the government has been slow in implementing the required measures. Speaking to City News, the General Secretary of the association, Thomas Ampoma, says a meeting on Thursday, June 27, between the parties involved will determine their next line of action.
Same strike we went 2 times. All were based on this arbitration award. And the commission, in the first instance, asked them to implement the dividend in May. In August, they also asked them to implement by October, and they didn't. So now we told the commission that until the money hit our accounts, we will not consider, because 2 times we were asked to call off our strike, and the government did nothing. More than a year now. So the onus now lies with the government. So CETA has nothing to negotiate, to discuss, nothing. So LSE asked us to come Thursday to see the compliance that the government will come and show us. So we will go to LSE on Thursday to see what government will present.
Thomas Ampoma is the General Secretary of the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana. Now, grieved parents of a student at Laboni Senior High School in Accra are currently at the Cantonment Police Station earlier to report an assault case against their ward. They have already petitioned the Director General of the Ghana Education Service seeking his intervention to reinstate their son in the boarding house so he could write his final exams. According to the petition, the third-year student was withdrawn from the boarding house without justification. Reports state that the senior housemaster allegedly detained and assaulted the student after he allegedly refused to hand over a mobile phone. Speaking to City News, the student's guardian, Rasia Ebu, said they don't trust any investigation the school may conduct, hence their decision to involve the police and the GES in the matter.
We are here at the Cantonment Police Station to report the assault on Abraham, to ensure the boss reinstated, and they should also investigate the matter. We don't trust the disciplinary committee of the school because they mistreated this boy based on an allegation, and the school prefect has also been reported to be using a mobile phone, but he's still in the school. I mentioned this to the senior housemaster and he told me that they are mere allegations. And then I asked him if they are mere allegations and this senior boys prefect is still in the boarding house and still attending classes. Why is the case of Abraham different? He didn't give me any. For Abraham insists he was not having a phone. We have not bought a phone. He said he was not holding a phone. He was just standing on the corridor when the senior boys prefect approached him and demanded that he should allow him to search him. So he felt the boy was harassing him. That was why he didn't allow him to search him. So that was what happened. So we are looking that the GES will, as a matter of urgency, come and ensure the boy is being treated so that he will have absolute peace of mind to prepare for his upcoming rapid examination.
That was the guardian of the Laboni SHS student who was allegedly assaulted by their senior housemaster, Rasia Ebu.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Do you have a game-changing and innovative business idea or project that can impact the society? This is your moment. Total Energies presents the 4th edition of the Startupper of the Year Challenge. This year, we are looking for 3 winners. The best entrepreneur, also called the InnovUp winner. The best project or innovative business idea that exemplifies the principle of recycling and minimizing waste, also called the Cycle Up winner. And the best project that promotes or relates to sustainable and affordable energies, also called the Power Up winner. And that's not all. 4 additional projects in the Power Up category will be selected by an international jury. Don't wait any longer. Apply at www.startupper.totalenergies.com for a chance to win financial support, professional mentorship, and a spotlight for your project. Terms and conditions apply.
I asked him to buy me original politics.
Hey, please don't make mistake. Talk to Papa. Open your back, come on. And you politics no girl. Papa.
Papa, can ruffle.
The pointer is original, the first and the best.
What is? Who got also for dear acrobat to use me?
Politics, yes.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You're welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios in Adabraka in Accra. Let me bring some of your messages that have been coming through. The government of Ghana should take a cue from what's happening in Nairobi, Kenya. When the people are oppressed for a little while, they will rebel, vent their anger towards the executive and legislature, and the consequence will be very dire. When it's coming, it is doing. Eko Ochiri from Shire Hill says it's absolutely unnecessary to introduce a law for free senior high school. It is a clear admission of the Akufo-Addo government that it has failed with that policy. They now want to drag everyone else into their shame. Mausi Ayebi Aista sending that message. This one says it is understandable that the NDC MPs are cautious about making the free SHS program mandatory through legislation, as this could limit future flexibility in governance. While they support the initiative, they recognize the importance of allowing room for policy adjustments based on changing circumstances. Their decision ensures that future governments can adapt education policies effectively. Next message. I don't understand why a common bill to protect an education policy with both sides of the House have promised to continue. This should not lead to the confusion and rancor we saw in Parliament. The NDC must do well to support the passage of the bill if they truly want to cancel this policy. Akapo Jr. sending a message from Ahafo-Mim. Other messages, this one from, okay, let me take the next one. The next message from Jones Adoboy in La. He says, I have never seen any hypocrite and desperate politician who wants to score a cheap political point with free SHS that has serious bottleneck that needs proper stakeholders engagement. Why the rush? Ghanaians are not angry enough. You can also send your message 0549 986 996. Let's talk about SNIT now and its plans to offload 4 of its hotels and all the issues that have been arising from there since the Honorable Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa made the announcement that the hotels were being sold to Brandon Champions Rock City and all the back and forth. Now, on the sidelines of all the issues is a certain Freddie Blay. Well, he's not certain because he's former Member of Parliament for Elembele, former National Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, and his children have been fingered as having procured the frontage of the hotel or the beach of the Labadi Beach Hotel, thereby removing the beach from the hotel. Last week, I interviewed his son on Eyewitness News, who said he was going to sue Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa for that claim that was made, which claim he said was untrue. Tonight, Freddie Blay himself called the press to state his position. Let's listen to him.
Well, they are only suggesting or alleging, and it's unfortunate. And even from your own question, you mentioned my son, and I'm telling you that it's only one son that is involved in this. And you mentioned of a prime site or location. As you could see from the stretch from the lagoon up to that, there will be several spots, several businesses, several commercial drinking spots all over. It depends on what you put inside. It depends on the kind of patronage you do have. Fortunately, and maybe this is not turned out to be unfortunate. Fortunately, Polo Beach Club has got a name, has got a brand. It looks like it's quite popular, not only among local Ghanaians, but all over. And it depends on how they've commercialized it. It depends on how they have talked about it and what kind of program they have and what kind of music they play and what kind of services they render. So it made it that popular. But it is not an issue of just a sport, not an issue of just a location. It is what you put in or on that location. And that's exactly what Polo Beach Club has done so far.
If for nothing at all, the activities began as far back as 2019. And we know that it began with a certain form of relationship with Labadi Beach Hotel, if not even a contract, a gentleman's agreement. Will it be far from right to say that your sons may have, your son may have exploited that initial arrangement that they had with Labadi Beach Hotel?
That's an impression that's been. I don't want, like I told you, I have not been involved that much. But definitely there was an arrangement that was mutually beneficial. It got to a certain stage, the parties disagreed. One, the hotel authorities wanted more. Instead, they wanted a bigger share of what was being made. And they thought maybe if they push out Polo Beach Club, they could themselves take it all. And then, of course, fortunately, the property, the location, the land itself did not belong to them. So why not? The young man rather reached out to the owners, that is the La Traditional Council and the La Beach Management, and spoke with them, and they came to an arrangement. So the hotel authorities decided that we will then no more make you use or allow you to use our parking. And then, of course, the La Traditional Council gave some portion of land on your right hand, which I showed you, that you could use that as your parking lot. And that's what has been doing. It appears that the challenge that came on because of some disagreement, rather inured to his advantage. And he has not looked back. And he's doing well, going on well, cooperating with the La Traditional Council and land management. And business is going on. And indeed, the beach itself, that is the beach hotel, has not complained and is not making any fuss about it, except when Okujetua Blakwa came and made it look like as if Kwable had cheated the beach club, had cheated his partners and so forth. But of course, that arrangement itself, if anything at all, the court will decide. The court will decide.
Chairman, what do you reckon could be the motivation for the claims that Okujetua has leveled against?
It's political. I don't want to go there. It's political. And anything that is successful, they think if you are not related to a politician, or if you don't have a political godfather, or don't have an influence, you can't make it happen. Unfortunately, it was a mistake. It's not so in all cases. Definitely, there's no political manipulation, there's no political influence, nothing of this sort in respect of what you are seeing and what you yourself have gone through. If you like, ask the Labadi Beach Hotel authorities and go and ask the La Traditional Council what arrangement that they've come to. That land management team on the beach, it overlook all operations, and you can see it's not only the Polo Beach Club, but several other business.
Chairman, you realize that there are a lot of business entities along the coastline. However, only Polo Beach, in addition to Labadi Beach, appears to have gotten additional plots of land to do a pathway or even a car park. For those who would say that it is suspicious because yes, his father is politically exposed.
You ascribe anything successful to either a political muscle or not. But if they are Ghanaians, then you think it's a muscle. Excuse me, if you had been a foreigner like a Lebanese, like an Indian, doing this business, or successful, like the big Lebanese families that had done business in the past, Fatal and Co., Dakmak and Co., would you ascribe that is political muscle that they've used? If a Ghanaian is doing well, then people may want to make it look like as if it is because he has political. I'm saying, tell me, show me by a shred of evidence that this has been done because Freddie Bray is the father of the young man doing it. They even made it look like as if it's not only one person doing it, but my sons, they lump them all together. In fact, I have one girl as a daughter. If I'm not lucky, they will have also added here that he's part of it. That's what is happening. It's unfortunate. They make it look like as if being a politician itself, it's a crime. Unfortunately, that shouldn't be the case.
You make reference to the La Traditional Council.
Yes.
At the demonstration that was led by Okujetua Blakwa himself, there was a gentleman who introduced himself as the La Wulomo. And in the Ga community, that seems to be the focal person, the mouthpiece of the Ga.
I'm saying that.
Was opposed
please.
To all the arrangements that have come in the media conversation.
No, I did not listen to what he said. I'm not too sure exactly what I'm saying. On paper, if I'm saying that La Traditional Council has signed a document with me, unless I forge it, unless I'm lying to you, find out. If he says he alone, La Wulomo, is part of the Traditional Council. They go to meetings. They've signed documents ceding that land by way of lease to the company. I'm talking about Press Express, also Sparks. If I'm lying, of course, let him come out. And I don't want to go into any banter. So the risk is that if you are not careful now, people now come out with their with their political colors over it. It will color what is that. But it's purely business. And with them business with the tradition, I don't want to go into the sums in terms of this is what the young man has done. And I believe they have gained from it. I believe they continue to gain. And I believe in the future they will even make more profit out of the relationship. It is in their best interest to keep it as it is. That's all.
I get the impression that you don't like the idea that people describe all of this as political state capture.
It's unfortunate. What is it? I mentioned that this is one little sport that is being used as entertainment sport. Playing music, selling a little drinks, or food and let people come. It's a small place, compared even to the hotel. Now, when you take a state capture, what exactly do you mean? People have forgotten the history of this country. Go and ask Sunyane, Kitchen Rest House. It was government that built it. Who is now owning it? Go and ask. Go to Tamale. Kitchen Rest House. Please, let me finish. Go and ask Tamale, who is owning Kitchen Rest House. It's a politician and associated with NDC. 31st December, I don't want to rake old quarrels. 31st December had bought more than 26 entities, companies, economic activities that government have started. They bought them. They belong to the NDC. TV3, that also was part of the news. Was it not a government organization? They sold it, maybe for a song. We've not talked about it. Many of some of such state entities and economic groupings or whatever activity that had been sold, in some cases are located and they have not even paid. People are not talking about it. Then here, we've not taken it from government. We bought it or rented it or leased it from traditional authorities, and you call it state capture. It's a pity.
But is that
so
now
what
to rebut
specifically
the idea that
lease
it's state
or
capture?
you bought it? Or
It's a lease.
It's a lease. For how? Do we know how long?
It's about 20 to 25 years. Yes.
So I'm asking that is the fact that in past, government entities were sold to political actors enough to rebut that is state capture.
Colonization or state capture. I don't want to go there. As I said, people don't know the history of this country. Maybe Okudetua Blackwater will not know it. That's what I'm pointing out. That, listen, we are in a country where the state was involved in many things that they put up. They have maybe changed the paradigm, or there's been a shift. The government wants to divest itself from many of these state entities because one way or the other, some argue that losses are occurring. Fair enough, I'm not the one who made that policy. But I'm saying individuals have bought some of such entities. Groups have formed and have taken over. And I've given you an example that even one that is making noise about it, like TV3, was once belonged to the government of the day. Those who were in government bought it. Or one way or the other, indirectly, had something to do with it, and they still have something to do with it. And that's not all. Hotels. I've mentioned hotels. There was a Star Hotel. It was bought, given out. And now the place has been turned into an estate. I can tell you many other things that have taken in this place. You are young people, you may not know. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying don't equalize it. It is not the same thing like what we are talking about. This is not this stretch of or portion of land, little land here that is being used as a place for a Polo Beach Club. It did not belong to government. It did not belong to the Labadi Beach Hotel. It may be partly in front of it, yes, but they have not blocked the access to the sea as Ablakwa wants us or to be. You've seen it yourself. So don't make it look like as if it's state capture because Blay Sun, or as they call it, Blay Sunshine. No sunshine, but what sun is involved in it? What has that got to do with government?
You may not have taken the land or taken the hotel over, but definitely
what is it?
They are losing some funds at the end of the day.
How he has dragged your name and the name of
He shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, so what are you taking him to court?
You will hear from me. You hear from me that within this week, definitely I'll take him to court over it. But what again did you say?
You that, I mean, you may not have taken over the hotel, taken over, as you say, the beachfront, but certainly they lose some amount of money because you operate independently now.
No. We started cooperating or doing something together in 2019. And from 2019 on, they were making money. Yes, we were also making money. And they said, I'm talking about we, because I'm talking about my... But at some stage, they said they wanted more. And the young man says, no, you can't have more. I'm doing everything else. And he said, then in that case, you can't use our park. In that case, we will not allow you to use some of our facilities. Unfortunately, the La Traditional Council made available the park. And he's operating on his own, without reliance on them. But even then, when this beach club is operating, the hotel is making more money out of it. It's better that we all together cooperate and work together, because it will invite more people, respect, it invite a lot of guests, tourists. It is the best way to go about it. So they should have agreed to do that, instead of making it look like as if they want to drive away.
Are you some people work with them again?
I'm not the one doing that. Please, it's my son who will make that decision.
So in the light of the controversy, is this something you advise your sons to possibly reconsider again the arrangement with the hotel?
I don't want to say anything about it here, but the hotel, it says it has an open arm for them. It thinks the doors are open for them to negotiate and see what they can do together. But if they wouldn't do it together again, why not? Competition is good. Let them also put up. As I said, I've shown you the space, I've shown you the entrance where they have built even a wall. That is the beachfront. The beachfront that some people are on the rooftop shouting that it's been blocked and so forth by the Polo Beach Club. You could see more than half of it. It's also blocked. They have built a wall. No. So what are you talking about? Who are you complaining for? And what for? In any case, I could see the Court is also complaining about the sale of the hotel. So whom are you complaining for? The sale of the hotel or the operations of Polo Club? Which you've seen, the operation which is in the best interest for tourism in this country. People are earning money out of it. And we are inviting people to come and see for themselves. You have seen it for yourself. I'm saying there had not been cheating. Definitely not involving this beach.
So that's Freddie Wasimewu Blay, former CPP Member of Parliament for Elembele, former acting chairman of the New Patriotic Party, former national chairman of the New Patriotic Party, the owner of the Daily Guide Network, the father of the young man accused of buying the beachfront of the Labadi Beach Hotel. He called a press conference where he met journalists, including our own Hansen Ajiman of the Citi Newsroom, and took questions and answered same in relation to that controversy around the Labadi Beach Hotel. This Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. When we come back, we'll go to Nairobi, Kenya.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
The other day, I visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
it's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
Sharp! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
Yeah. We have a new leader in town. Obiara
Yentie, Amafo, Madam was Sibebre, William Samabay, maybe more charcoal for whiter teeth, more charcoal. Not only that, maybe lemon, more lemon, zinc for fresher breath, more zinc, and fluoride for stronger teeth.
Introducing the new President Charcoal Pack with more power with a combination of charcoal and lemon for naturally whiter teeth. Grab yours now. This advert is FDA approved.
One of the best decisions you can possibly make at the start of your day is to tune in to the Citi Breakfast Show. Insightful, intriguing, intelligent, and informative. The Citi Breakfast Show offers an attractive alternative to the noisy mishmash of morning radio. Tune in to the Citi Breakfast Show for passionate discussions on issues that matter and enjoy interviews where duty bearers and decision makers have their feet held to the fire. The Citi Breakfast Show airs from 6:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Monday to Friday, only on 97.3 Citi FM.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. This Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios in Adabraka in Accra, and we are around the globe on YouTube. You can go to our Facebook channel as well, and Citi FM channel on YouTube. And of course, we are on our website, citinewsroom.com. Let me take you to Nairobi, the capital of Kenya. That city is on fire. We're told the House of Parliament is actually on fire. I'm looking at the story on our website, citinewsroom.com, and it says section of Kenya Parliament on fire as protesters are shot. A section of Parliament went up in flames on Tuesday after protesters gained entry, forcing police to open fire. Several demonstrators were shot after many stormed the Nairobi National Assembly present following the approval of the Finance Bill 2024. Let's go to Nairobi and speak to Marvin Muriuki. He is the online editor for Kenyans.co.ke. He's joined us on the line. Sir, you're welcome to Eyewitness News on Citi FM in Accra, Ghana.
Hi, I'm happy to be here and thank you for hosting me.
What's happening in your capital city?
Well, today we witnessed a revolution that perhaps will mark itself in history because it was a youth-led protest against the finance bill, a bill that has been in motion for quite some time and in conversation online for the longest time ever. And now that they've been pushing it, the MPs and leaders in parliament and everyone else, the youth have taken up in arms and have protested against it. And the protest has actually been mostly online. It has actually been mostly a dialogue, but then the MPs refused to heed to the call of the Gen Zs and the millennials of Kenya, and so they took it to the streets.
Explain to me why...
In a nutshell, what happened.
Great. Explain to me why it appears Gen Zs and millennials are the one leading this. Is the finance bill targeting them? What is the content of this finance bill?
So the content of the finance bill is actually not necessarily targeting the Gen Zs. And this is an important part of the narrative because it is derived to make it sound like they're targeting the Gen Zs. What is actually a fact is that most of what we do has been improved, has been increased. We're talking about bread, we're talking about land, motor vehicles. Everything has taxes put on top. The reason why Gen Zs particularly are frustrated is because they do not have jobs, they do not have the money to pay these taxes, yet much more is being placed upon them. The older generation, we could argue, maybe are a little bit wary, a little bit tired, a little bit resistant to fighting, but the Gen Zs are not resistant to fighting. And part of the national online campaign actually has been in educating the older generation. And you'll find that the Gen Zs have been translating parts of the bill parts of the taxes, parts of the clauses in different local languages so that the older generation understand that this affects them as much as it affects us. Because there's some taxes that have been put on some machines and some medical services that are lifestyle diseases, things like cancer, things like diabetes or kidney treatment, which are commonly, as you can say, for the older generation, and then it affects them. So it is not a fight for the Gen Zs, but it's a fight for Kenya. Yeah.
Are they seeing the Gen Zs, the young people, are they seeing it as a fight against William Ruto, or they are seeing it against as a fight against the governing class? So that is a target William Ruto and his government, or they are looking at the whole governing class?
So the answer to that is actually a complex political situation that is happening and is unfolding right before our very eyes. Previously, the fight wasn't against William Ruto. And by previously, I mean not more than 48 hours ago. It was mostly against the parliament, the members of parliament. And it was a war against the people that we've put in parliament, representing our constituencies, who were meant to vote against such punitive laws. However, it is Ruto that hammered in the point that we need to pass this quickly. We need to expedite this. And so today's protest, and not more, like I've said, not more than 48 hours, the conversation has switched to now wait. As the president, aren't you supposed to be protecting our interests as the people? Aren't you meant to be listening to the people that have trusted you to put you there? And so with him forcing the dialogue on and pushing forward with the bill, I think the people now turned the conversation and said, Ruto as well, you must go. And this is actually, the reason I say it's also complicated is because Ruto has had a history, a very complex history. I'm sure if you look into your history books, you'll see his involvement in, alleged involvement, I must add, in crimes committed during the post-election violence. He's also had interesting conversations and dialogues around some draft cases when he was a minister back in agriculture. So he's had a very complicated history in the Kenyan landscape. So him right now, he sits at the place whereby some people are considering him the orchestrator of this difficult economic environment that we as Kenyans are currently living through. Yeah.
We have some power blocks in Kenya. Baba, as Raila Odinga, is one of them. We do know that he commands a huge section of your population. We also do know that he's not particularly or he was not particularly friends with William Ruto in the last election, even though there's some whole agreement that has been considered now. Again, we know that Raila is in some kind of a pact with the devil, to use a proper phrase, with Uhuru Kenyatta. The two appear to be at opposing ends with William Ruto. Do you get the sense that these two men are possibly the ones behind this protest, or you think that this protest was very organic?
This protest cannot have been influenced by those two men. They may be good speakers to present our issues to the international fold so that other countries can understand what we're saying, but they cannot have been the sponsors. And the reason why I'm so adamant about this is they are also very heavily involved in what can I say? Like, for example, like Raila, he is championing for the AU Commission chairperson. Over the past couple of months, actually, he's really dialed down his opposition stance and he has softened his anti-Ruto campaign. But that has not been because of the taxes. It has not been because of any particular dialogue. It's opposition doing opposition things. It's we oppose this for the sake of opposing it. And Uhuru himself has completely withdrawn himself from the political landscape. There was a conversation that people wanted him to become the new kingpin of the biggest tribe in Kenya, but he withdrew himself from it completely. So these two people have intentionally withdrawn themselves from being the figureheads of the opposition. And the Gen Zs are the ones that are moving this dialogue. And you can see it from the fact that it's not funded by a specific person. There's no one who's been given the attribution of hey, this is our leader. There's no political party that has been registered as the people that are championing this. There's no money that is being flown in. Every single person is a volunteer. Every single person is organic. However, and I must add, there are some politicians who are using this opportunity to latch onto this movement and register themselves, if you may, as the face of the opposition. Yes.
What about the casualties following the protest? We are told that there were gunshots. I'm even seeing somewhere that the military have been invited. How bad is it?
It's bad. And we saw some of the footage. We received some of the report. The number of deaths is still unconfirmed, and we are waiting maybe for the collection and reporting from multiple hospitals, which were actually overwhelmed throughout the day. But we do have 5 confirmed dead, and some of this deaths happened on the doors of Parliament. Literally, we're talking on the gates of Senate, on the gates of National Parliament. Some of them happened while they were draped in the national flags of Kenya. So they do look a lot like martyrs, but they are the ones that are confirmed dead by international media. We do not know how many more are dead, and because there were around 31 seriously injured and seriously wounded individuals, and most doctors in public hospitals were complaining of the fact that they were overloaded with injuries and so many other issues. So we do not have the total numbers of yet. Yeah.
Is the protest continuing unabated, or they've been taken off the streets? Are the streets clear now, or there are still protests ongoing?
The protest has died down. The conversation was mostly to do it from dawn to dusk, in the sense that you want to protest on this light. This is because the last time we protested on Thursday, there's a group of mob and, like what you can say, vandals who use this opportunity to storm into offices and shops and rob and use that cover of the protest for evil deeds. And that was a thing that was used by the government to say that this is a protest of violence. They have been insisting that this protest is a peaceful protest. Anti-vandalism, there's been very minimal reported cases of like stealing or harming innocent civilians. However, there have been now reported cases of citizens storming into Member of Parliament's homes, business premises, and torching them down. Yeah.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, and then please be safe out there.
Thank you as well for hosting me, and thank you as well. Yeah.
So that's Marvin Muriuki. He's an online editor, or the online editor with Kenyans.co.ke, speaking to us from Nairobi, where the protests were held against the government's imposition of a new tax law, a new bill in Parliament. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. On Point Blank, my guest is with the Movement for Change, Alan Chamantin's group. But before then, there will be business news. And before that, Eno has a story.
Some patients visiting the oncology department of the Komfonochi Teaching Hospital to seek medical services are being turned away as doctors intensify their strike over broken down equipment. The doctors are not attending to new cases and other referrals to the department, but those who were scheduled to come for their medication are being attended to. Doctors at the department began their strike on Monday over what they said were delays by the hospital's management to repair the linear accelerator used for radiotherapy services. Patients are now bearing the brunt of the action by the doctors, and they are now forced to travel to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital for medical care.
They are still on strike. The doctors are not coming. They are not working. Today, only one doctor is working. We are being affected because my wife is seriously sick and there's no doctor. We see some patients over here, and even most of them they have gone, and most of them are not coming because of the strike. So we are being affected.
What's the option for you?
My option is government should pay attention to them, because they are saying that their machines that they are using has got spoiled, and they have been complaining that the government is not paying attention. So my option is the government should come in to see their needs and then provided for them to do their work.
They said it's a tumor that has caused him
and its brightness. That's why. But we check on his liver. The liver has damaged a little, and they said we should come and they make him injection, put an injection on him. So we came, but they said they are on strike, so we can go home.
You heard the voices of some persons who brought their relatives to seek medical service at the Komfonoji Teaching Hospital, but have been turned away due to the protest by the oncology doctors. Away from that, still on that topic, pardon me. Meanwhile, the Health Minister, Dr. Bernard Okuboy, during a working visit in the Ashanti region, said steps will be taken to address the concerns of the striking doctors.
Few weeks ago, medical laboratory staff went on strike. We used the lay-down structures to resolve it. Today, as we speak, they've gone back to work. This was about a week or two ago. Conflicts or disagreements sometimes are part of the human nature or institution. Our job is to resolve them. All I'll say is that we'll continue to work to resolve these conflicts. I heard the announcement today. I've not had briefing on the details. But my attitude is that every conflict or disagreement can be resolved. All we have to do is to pay attention and work on it.
Health Minister Dr. Bernard Okuboy.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Time now for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. My name is Inu Safo. Let's settle for the details. Fitch Solutions has adjusted Ghana's real gross domestic product growth projection for 2024 to 4.3%, up from the previous 3.8%. They also forecast an expansion of 4.5% for Ghana's economy in 2025. The following Business Desk report has more.
The London-based firm revised its forecast of Ghana's growth due to a stronger than expected increase in economic activities expected in the next 2 quarters of 2024. On June 18, 2024, the Ghana Statistical Service released data for the first quarter of the year, showing that real economic growth accelerated to 4.7% year-on-year, up from the 3.8% recorded in the fourth quarter of 2023. This marks the fastest growth in over 2 years. This acceleration was primarily driven by solid growth of 6.8% in the industrial sector, supported by increased output in mining, quarrying, and oil and gas operations. From a spending perspective, economic growth was primarily driven by a 13.8% increase in fixed investment and a healthy 11.2% growth in private consumption. Meanwhile, Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam has also been saying that Ghana's economy is set to have a strong recovery this year.
That was a Business Desk report. The Ghana Pay platform has recorded a significant increase in subscribers, with transactions reaching 2.5 million Ghana cedis, up from 40,000 cedis in 2022. Since its introduction in 2022, the platform has added various services, including bill payment, crowdfunding activities, and bulk payments for the benefit of corporate organizations. Speaking on the sidelines of the Ghana Pay Value Added Services media briefing in Accra, head of Ghana Pay, Samuel Darko, emphasized the need for ongoing efforts to promote financial inclusion.
When we launched the product in 2022, June, we had close to 40,000, as of the close of the year. That was in June 2022. But as we speak today, we have close to 2.5 million Ghana cedis as from a float. Because for Ghana Pay, because it's a bank-wide wallet, the banks are interested in the floats. That is where they could actually, like Mr. Hesse mentioned, if the economy wants to develop, it actually develops on the fact that we all are financially included. As we speak today, we have close to about 2.5 million Ghana cedis worth of float sitting on the Ghana Pay mobile money wallet. We are looking a little bit close to 1 million subscribers on the platform as well, compared to about 20,000 people when we launched the product in 2022.
Samuel Darko is the head of Ghana Pay. Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement Systems Limited, Archie Hesse, provided further insights on the Ghana Pay wallet.
As a country, we've come a long way. Just barely 10 years ago, electronic payments was alien. 15 years ago, most banks did not even have an e-business department. Today is the in thing. So the structures are being put in place. What we have to do now is to all work together so that we deepen education. That's where you come in. Ensure that promotion, adverts, people properly understand the products and services so that whatever is appropriate for them, everybody have different uses. So you are well informed and then you choose the appropriate payment and solution for yourself. And that's where we are now.
That was the CEO of the Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement Systems Limited, Archie Hesse. The Bank of Ghana has clarified issues regarding the handling of inward remittances in Ghana as part of efforts to dispel recent misinformation over the matter. It was alleged that newly licensed money transfer operators and fintech companies withheld substantial amounts of foreign currency totaling $8 billion over 2 years, adversely affecting the country's foreign reserves. The Apex Bank refutes this claim, citing data from the Bank of Ghana and the World Bank showing consistent year-on-year increases in remittance inflows. The bank clarified that MTOs are not licensed directly by BOG, but undergo due diligence when partnering with local banks or fintechs. All remittances are routed through partner banks' Nostra accounts, ensuring transparency and adherence to regulatory requirements. The bank maintains that it operates a unified foreign exchange system, and both banks and fintechs submit regular prudential returns to BOG. It emphasized that all entities engaged in remittance services are mandated to comply with the Foreign Exchange Act and other regulatory obligations. Director of SME, Agency Banking and Partnerships at Absa Bank, Audrey Abaka, is urging governments to give businesses within the small and medium-sized sector more focus to ensure it contributes immensely to the growth of the economy. According to her, those small and medium-sized enterprises are the backbone of the Ghanaian economy, as they represent about 85% of businesses, largely within the private sector. Little is being done to ensure the development of sustainable small and medium enterprises. Speaking on the City Business Festival Roundtable on SMEs, Audrey Abaka noted that the SME sector is under stress post-COVID-19, hence the need for more measures to make them resilient.
In terms of how the economy or the sector is faring, some of these taxes, the new taxes that the government is, bringing up, the taxes on electricity, taxes on, emission and all that. And then above all, look at the power irregularity. I thought that it was Ghana until I went to South Africa and I realized even Kenya, there's so much irregularity, so businesses are struggling. If you don't have the capacity to have alternative power supply, then it means that, your business will not perform as expected. So things are tough. There are challenges. This is why I think that the key stakeholders in the SME ecosystem must pay attention to this sector. If we believe, like Michael said, that this sector is so important and contributes significantly to the economic's growth and development in job creation, poverty alleviation and GDP contribution. In times like this, just as during COVID there were government interventions, government must come in and intervene, provide things like guarantees to enable banks to lend at cheaper rates.
Audrey Abaka is the Director of SME Agency Banking and Partnerships at Absa Bank. President of the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management, Dr. Edward Kwapong, noted that the profitability of SMEs is hinged on effective human resource management.
We need to set up a framework for ensuring that you have the right skill sets at the workplace. In the big companies and government agencies, we have something we call the system of progression and terminal points, or the scheme of service, which defines the skills required for every job, the skill sets, and then the experience. And if you want to grow in the organization, you need to meet certain requirements at every stage before eventually you get to the top. If you go to the SME space, they don't have it, and they are not interested. They want the cheapest source of labor, and therefore anybody they find in the labor market, they invite over to come and work with them. So things are not streamlined in the SMEs, and that's one of their biggest issues. But going back to the mindset thing, is our values, the cultural values of this country. We tend to believe in the sole owner of a business.
Sole proprietorship.
Sole proprietorship. For good reason and for bad reason. Some of us are selfish.
Dr. Edward Kwapong is the president of the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management. The City Business Festival 2024 is powered by 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 TV in partnership with Absa Bank and is sponsored by MTN Business, Gersel, AMG Fertilizer, Insano Limited and Agri Impact Limited. That's all for City Business News on Eyewitness News. My name is Inosafo. Up next is Point Blank.
Are you a contractor, builder, or a proud homeowner with an eye for quality and security? Well, look no further than Yale. Yale is the trusted name in security for over 180 years. When it comes to securing your home or business, trust Yale. We make security simple, and we're right here in the heart of Accra, Ghana. Visit our stunning showroom on 11th Lane Street in Osu, Accra, and discover a world of premium Yale products, including door hardware, handles, and door locks that will elevate the security and style of your space. Whether you're building from scratch or renovating, Yale has the perfect solution for you. Our products are known for their durability, innovation, and most importantly, your peace of mind. Visit us today and experience the Yale difference. Your security, our priority. Yale, locking in your peace of mind.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the whole family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
Do you have a game-changing and innovative business idea or project that can impact the society? This is your moment. Total Energies presents the 4th edition of the Startupper of the Year Challenge. This year, we are looking for 3 winners. The Best Entrepreneur, also called the InnovUp winner. The Best Project or Innovative Business Idea that exemplifies the principle of recycling and minimizing waste, also called the Cycle Up winner. And the Best Project that promotes or relates to sustainable and affordable energies, also called the Power Up winner. And that's not all. 4 additional projects in the Power Up category will be selected by an international jury. Don't wait any longer. Apply at www.startupper.totalenergies.com for a chance to win financial support, professional mentorship, and a spotlight for your project. Terms and conditions apply.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
This is Point Blank on Eyewitness News. My name is Umaru Sandama. Tonight on Point Blank, my guest is with the Alliance for Revolutionary Change. That is the umbrella body that has a number of groupings, including political movements, led by Alan Kwadwo Chamantin. Yesterday, Alan Chamantin launched his GTP, not the cloth, but the Great Transformation Program under the umbrella of the Movement for Change. My guest was at that ceremony. He's a founder of the Ghana First Coalition. Dr. Samuel Noy Mensah is my guest. You're welcome to Point Blank.
Thank you very much, Imaro.
How are you, sir?
Doing fine. Thank you very much.
Great. So you lead Ghana First Coalition.
Yes, the founder of the Ghana First Coalition with other allied groups, same mindset of group of people who literally came together because they felt there should be a third force.
I see.
An alternative.
Before you joined Alan's group or the alliance, what was Ghana First doing? What was your coalition doing?
No, Ghana First for the past 6 years have been campaigning for a mass movement.
Okay.
And this mass movement then led, and then eventually the movement for change, which is what Alan leads, also joined it. And that gave birth to the Alliance for Revolutionary Change.
I see. So yesterday you launched the GTP. Is that like the manifesto? Or first of all, what's the difference between the movement for change, which is Alan's group, and this Alliance for Revolutionary Change? Does it mean you have all decided to hand over your powers to the to Alan's group, and you're going to be part of the movement for change? How is this alliance working?
No, this alliance, each group still has its own identity, and they are members of a global or a grand coalition, which is the Alliance for Revolutionary Change.
Okay.
However, each movement, like Movement for Change and the Alliance, has its structures. Ghana First Coalition has their structures. The National Interest Movement, where Abu Sakara leads, has his structures. So everybody has his structures.
But you collectively work for one
collectively working for one goal as an alternative.
Okay.
To the duopoly.
Which means you end up having one presidential candidate and a running mate.
One presidential candidate, which is an independent presidential candidate in the person of Alan Kojo Tremantin.
So that is settled. That is agreed.
It's settled. It's a done deal.
Okay. And the name you will be going into the election would be the Movement for Change or the Alliance for Revolutionary Change?
Because an independent candidate is not a political party, Maru. So therefore, you are not presenting any political party.
Okay.
So he's standing as an independent candidate. Hence the need for the third force, people coming together under that umbrella as an alternative government.
So you use a butterfly, I guess, as a symbol for the Electoral Commission.
Yes, because he belongs to the Movement for Change, and that's the butterfly.
You keep using the phrase third force, but Cheddar, Nana Kwame Bediako, is a man who is known for the third force. Have you had discussions with him to join you or for you to join him, or we are going to have two third forces in Ghana?
Well, eventually, we are still working towards facilitating the possibility of just bringing everybody together under one common umbrella for change. Okay. So it's all about who would you probably reach out to, and then if the person is willing, then come under this umbrella of Alliance for Revolutionary Change.
Okay. Talk to me about GTP.
Well, GTP is not necessarily a policy. It's a policy plus a prescription of programs and strategy to achieve the goal. It is a system of bringing in a new system of government, a government of unity, a government of continuity, a government of accountability, a responsible government. A government that will hold people accountable, and also, but that will be much more effective and effective under attitudinal change. Because look, you can get the best of leaders, but if the attitude of the people are not transformed, that will be extremely difficult to bring the change you want. So the GTP is offering another system of governance, especially the government of unity, the government of inclusive governance. Because all over the years, the period has been 32 years of our democratic rule has been between NPP and NDC. Each of them have ruled 16 years apiece. We haven't made any significant progress in our nation. And it has become a blame game. I scratch your back, you scratch my back. And we can't continue. We are at a crossroad. People are asking, is this democracy actually working? Is it for the people? Is it in the interest of the people? Or it is in the interest of just a few? And we are at an edge. And so we strongly believe that, look, let's move beyond the NPP and NDC. Let entire Ghanaians come together. Ghanaians should be able to fashion out a new system of governance, a governance that can respond to the needs of the people and improve the lives of the people. So this is the whole call, a clarion call, that at the end of the day, we can have both traditional leaders, really faith-based organizations, everybody coming on board. It is about government that will include meritocracy. It's not about whether you are related to A or to B, whether you belong to party A or party B. Once you have the skill to be able to move Ghana forward, you can be brought on board. The point is that the boat of Ghana is sinking. So if we have to rescue, I wouldn't need to ask you, where do you belong to? Which tribe do you come from? Which political group do you come from?
It should not matter.
It doesn't matter. It's about Ghana.
Okay. So this your GTP, you have an almost 80-page document that you have printed and you are sharing. Which one for you, okay, so which one tickles your fancy, or which one jumps at you as perhaps something that we really need to do and must do out of all the elements you have in that booklet?
I would say for me, first of all, the attitude not change. Let us, for the purpose of my faith, if you should have the Lord Jesus or an angel from heaven to be in the Jubilee house, but the attitude of people are wrong, it will be extremely difficult for that angel to bring the change we need.
So attitude here, what are you looking at? Are you looking at stealing, corruption, or you're looking at indiscipline? What kind of thing are you looking at in attitude? Lateness, what kind of thing?
When we talk of attitude, number one, the need for patriotism. Okay, the need to have national values that will drive us. If I should ask you, what are the national values that drive our nation? You and I, we don't know. We haven't fashioned a national value system that can really drive us, that will make us who we are. So there is a need to have a national value system that will tell us, look, a love for God, a love for people, or a love for a country. So patriotism, national values, that will also affect our work ethics. That will also make us much more responsible. That will think about our country first and not our tribe, not our political party. So attitude that will bring the needed change. And this attitude, you will empower the NCA that will be able to drive it. Come out with a material and a booklet. When we were growing up some years ago, we had a booklet called Kessie for Boys and Girls that taught us how to be much more responsive. Now you can develop a material and start from KG, whereby these national values will be inculcated from KG up to secondary school. By the time the individual gets to the university, we have produced the new Ghanaian we desire to have. And in the next 20 years or 70 years and whatever, you will realize that we will have a new attitude, a new Ghanaian. These are the things that we will need if a nation can move forward. Most nations over the years, Japan, Singapore, mention them, they have national values. And it is these values that make them much more responsible in the society and accountable to one another. And you see, when these young men become the new Ghanaian in the next 20 years, they will go to the job market with that new attitude, with that new Ghanaian. Eventually, they will hold political office with that new attitude. So when they are taking decisions, they wouldn't take decisions of create, loot, and share. That perhaps, national assets will now be divided amongst them, and they will take ownership of national assets. No true Ghanaian would want to do that.
Talk to me about your GTP plan for the economy. What do you want to do? You said you are going to restrict importations or withdraw levies. Tell me more. What is your plan?
What we have done is that most different people are involved in different areas of the GTP. It covers 6 major areas.
Okay.
My focus will be in the governance and the behavioral.
So let's talk about corruption then. That will be under governance.
Yeah.
What's your plan as a movement?
Well, the plan for to define what corruption is. It's been difficult. It looks like we still haven't defined corruption. And therefore, corruption is being seen from different angles under Shrad or the IOCO and, the prosecutor, the special prosecutor. So we haven't come out with a fine definition of what we would describe as corruption and conflict of interest. These things will have to be put together and to come up with a clear-cut definition of what we think corruption is and how to deal with it and make corruption much more unattractive and the possibility of putting some of these accountable institutions under one umbrella. For example, the SHRAD, the IOCO, all these can be put under umbrella. And this is what they call a new accountability system called the ZA, and whereby the person become have the authority to be able to prosecute, different from the state prosecutor.
Okay, now still under governance, so you've talked about corruption, you've talked about NCCE. You've also said that you scrapped the Council of State. What is that idea?
Well, the concept is that is the inclusive governance, where you can have the upper chamber, where you can have the traditional leaders, faith-based leaders, TUC, farmers, ordinary men and women that will be representative, academia. So you will bring in all these group of organizations that will take ownership. They will be part of the governance system and hold the executive responsible. The executive will be able to take decisions, but they can also hold the executive responsible. That is a government of inclusivity, whereby everyone will feel that they are part of the whole system. So that is the concept of moving away from the traditional Council of State to this group of people.
So you're creating a second chamber?
Yes, sort of. Yes.
So that will run a bicameral legislature?
Well, there will be the lower chamber, which will be the parliament, would be in charge of the system of the laws that they are going to pass.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the upper chamber will be where they will perform certain functions, just like that of the Council of State. But this time, a little bit different in terms of the people that constitute that kind of chamber.
Would that second chamber have to endorse what the lower chamber does? Is that going to be the plan, or they'll be running parallel?
I will have to just go. This we learned just yesterday, but I think I will have to take my time and look into all the details in that area.
Let's talk about behavioral. I hear from older people say that there was a time a man was the Accra mayor. I'm not sure it was Accra mayor. He was running Kwame Nkrumah's circle. We're told that he was a disciplinarian, and because of that, Accra was fixed. Is that the kind of thing? Are you going to use, punishment to instill behavioral change, or you're going to use a pulpit? What are you going to do?
Well, I believe that if you have to bring behavioral change, there are two major institutions, Imaru. When you can go to the remotest part of any village, you may probably not find a school, or you may not find a hospital, but you will find a mosque and you'll find a church. So you realize that, and then you will also find a traditional leader. So these great institutions are managing people over the week. Mm-hmm. Every week they are dealing with people. They will be involved in this behavioral change. Once a material is well developed, they will be part of a system that will help to drive in that behavioral change. And like I said, start from caging, empower the NCE, who will be the driving force.
But even among the religious people you intend to use, there are charlatans, lots of them, we see that. How are you going to rely on charlatans to help you change the behavior of people?
Why are we not looking at the other good ones also amongst them?
Yeah, but there are bad ones.
But the system will now begin to respond to those bad ones, because there will be a system that will be able to address some of these things. And how do we deal with those ones? We have the organizations that they will be made much more responsible to ensure that they deal with those people, like internal regulation, to be able to deal with their own people internally.
Mm-hmm. There was there's a phrase that is popular in our market space. It's called abaye. Now, abaye is where a task force arrives, and then people who are doing business where they are not supposed to do business will pack their wares and run away. Now, that's clearly because either their wares will be seized or they will be fined. That's one aspect of discipline. Another aspect I saw recently is from Henry Quartey. He was Minister for Greater Accra Region. He brought soldiers and city guards and policemen and put them at places to ensure people do not cross the street where they are not supposed to cross. Again, if you're caught, you may be either whipped or something. Is that something you're going to use? Because this your attitudinal change preaching. Are you sure it can work if you don't put some punishment in there?
Certainly. You see, under this program, we said there should be respect for law and order. Number two, that will lead to promotion of patriotism, where you can allow people to, start singing the national anthem and the some of the patriotic songs right from, KG throughout secondary schools, and even sometimes, when you go to any function. And then attitudinal change, then the enforcement of discipline. That is the major thing. See, if discipline is not enforced, then it becomes very difficult for people to comply. Human beings by nature they are stubborn.
So would you use the soldiers? Would you use the police? Are you going to crack the whip, or you're going to beg people that change your minds? It sounds so. Are you going to sing for them? Because we've seen that. We've seen Obrafo doing Tetiapa song in 2001 or 2 thereabout for the late Aliu Muhammad's indiscipline campaign. All of that has not worked. Are you going to use brute force?
Because there hasn't been an intentional approach
there hasn't
been an intentional.
There were television campaigns. Ahana Obejunso, you remember that?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. But the point is that everything rises and falls on leadership. Okay? And the leader must be responsible and to drive the change. It is said that if you want to measure the temperature of a room, put the thermometer under the armpit of the leader. The readings will determine the temperature of the environment.
Very well.
So the leader must chart a course, be an example, and ensure that discipline is being enforced.
Okay, let's move forward. Before you can implement your plan, you need the votes of Ghanaians. Are you seriously serious about wanting to have a third force ruling Ghana? Do you see that on the ground? Do you think the country is asking or begging for that?
I think where we find ourselves now, if the average Ghanaian is happy with where we are, then they should go ahead and continue the direction we are going. But if they are dissatisfied about the state of our affairs, if they are dissatisfied about the fact that in the next 10 years, if we follow this pattern, we are going to import water because we have destroyed our water bodies. If they are satisfied that in the next 10 years, Ghana Medical Health have warned our government that we stand a chance of losing our lives because of these poisonous waters that we are drinking will affect our organs and our food system. If we are happy to allow these things to continue, then we should go ahead and vote the way we are voting. But if we are tired of this, then altogether we should look for change. Otherwise, we either swim or we sink.
You are sounding very, very promising. Let me tell you someone who sounded like you, Dr. Papa Kwesi Ndom, 2008. Very hopeful, very progressive, leading Nkrumah's CPP. But when you got to the votes, nothing. Are you sure you'll get a vote? Are people telling you they'll vote for you?
Jay Kufuor said something. Shawasitemo. Natu Apapa. The condition is simple.
At the time, his party, the NPP, had structures. You don't have structures anyway. For instance, do you have, someone you can name DCE? What's your district? What's the name of your district?
Tema.
Tema West or East?
Tema
West or Central? Tema East.
Yeah.
So that's Tema Municipal Assembly. Do you have someone readily available to be MCE for your area?
No,
if they gave you the power today?
If the power is given, I told you that it's about inclusive government.
So we'll bring everybody on board.
We'll bring everybody on board, find out the best capable person.
So you're going to do all-inclusive government?
That is all-inclusive. It's about Ghana.
Very well.
So find out who is capable
to
provide leadership.
We wish you all the best, and thank you so much for joining us for dinner tonight on Point Blank.
Thank you very much.
So that's Dr. Samuel Noy Mensah. He's a founder of the Ghana First Coalition and also a member of the Alliance for Revolutionary Change, Alan Chamante's group. They launched the GTP yesterday, the Great Transformational Program. And they want to be the third force that will save Ghanaians from the duopoly of NDC and MPP. Are you convinced? Join the movement if you are. If you're not, send a message on our platform and tell us why. Thank you for listening. This has been Eyewitness News.
Citi